Hello friends. See, last time we talked about series and parallel connection of the resistors in the lesson number 3. See, we also talked about series and parallel connection of the cells or batteries. Now we have to proceed further. Now today we start with an important topic, that is Kirchhoff's law. Now see, Kirchhoff's law are very important in analysis of the electrical or electronic circuits. Okay. Now before going for this, we should be familiar with some terms related with the current Kirchhoff's law. Now let us say this is a simple electrical circuit. Okay. Now see, the first term we have to know is junction. So what is junction? See, point at which two or more conductors meet is called junction. Okay. See, point at which two or more conductor meet is called junction. See, here in this circuit shown in the figure, see, C is a junction and F is a junction. Second is a loop. See, a closed path comprising of components, that is resistors, capacitor, cell, switch. Okay, we know these are the components. Okay, the closed path comprising of component is called loop. Okay, so these are the two very important terms. What is junction? See, the point at which two or more conductor meet is called junction, and a closed path comprising of components, resistor, capacitor, cell or switch is called loop. So in this circuit, let us say A, B, C, F. A is a loop. See, loop means whichever point we start, we have to come back in the same point. Similarly, F, C, D, E, F is a loop. So you can take A, B, C, D, E, F, A. That is also loop. Important thing about the loop is whatever the point we start, we have to come back at the same point. So here we start from A, come back to the point A, start from point F, come back to the point F. Similarly here also. So this is called a loop. Now these are the two important terms associated in studying the Kirchhoff's law. Now we see the first law. Okay, see the statement. Algebraic sum of current meeting at a junction is 0. Okay, see the algebraic sum of currents meeting at a junction is 0. Okay, now see the Kirchhoff's first law based on law of conservation of charges. Okay, now Okay, let us say O is a junction here. we can take any arbitrary circuit to understand this. See here, O is the junction. See, current I1, I4 and I5 are coming toward the junction, and current and I2 and I3 are moving away. Now see the law of conservation of charge. See, what is the charge coming toward the junction? That is Q1 plus Q4. Okay, and moving away from the junction is Q2 plus Q3. Okay, now here, see, as a sign convention, charge is coming toward the junction, we take positive, and moving away from the junction we consider negative. Now we know the formula, Q is equal to IT. So in a given time, this Q1 charge forms current I1, Q4, I4, and similarly. Okay, now see, T is common in all the terms. Okay, so we can say I1 plus I4. Okay, or we can write I1 plus okay. Now see, in generalized formula we can say sigma I is 0. Okay, see, that is a equation form of the Kirchhoff first law. That is the algebraic sum of the current meeting at a junction is 0. See here, as a convention, current coming toward the junction we have take positive, and moving away from the junction is negative. But if we say take opposite of this, then also we will get the same result. Okay, that is Kirchhoff first law. Now this is very important for solving the electrical circuits. Now this is the first law. Okay, now next we have to study the second law. See, the Kirchhoff first law is also called junction law, and Kirchhoff second law is called loop law. Okay, now Kirchhoff second law is based on single valuedness of electric potential at point in electric circuit. Okay, and secondly, it follows law of conservation of energy. Okay, see, the Kirchhoff second law is based on, see, the law of conservation of energy, and it is based on single valuedness of electric potential at a point. Now see the statement part. Okay, in given circuit, see, the product of resistance, the sum of product of resistance and corresponding current flow in fluid is equal to total EMF supplied to the circuit. Okay, so in given circuit, see the algebraic sum of product of resistance and corresponding current flowing through them is equal to total EMF supplied in the circuit. Okay. Now, by using this, we can understand the Kirchhoff's second law. Now we take a simple diagram. But before going for that, we should know some of the convention that will be useful to us to analyze the circuit. Now, these are the sign convention which are very useful in solving the circuit. Now see, first, let us say we are moving from A to B. Okay. Okay. During that, we move in the direction of the current. See, when we are moving in the direction of the current, see there is a decrease in potential equal to IR. So here, see, when we are moving in the direction of the current, we have to take minus I. See the second one. See, during our journey, let us say we move from A to B. See, we move in the opposite direction of the current. In that case, will be increase in potential equal to IR. That will be plus IR. Okay. Now see the third. See, when move in the direction of A to B, during that we move from negative to positive of the battery, okay, or a cell. Okay. So when we move in the direction of, when we move from negative to positive of the battery, see there will be increase in the EMF equal to increase in the potential. That will be EMF of the cell. So in that, here we will take plus. Now in the fourth one, okay. Now see, during our journey, when we move from positive to negative of the cell, let us say we are moving step down. In that case, we have to take minus E, decrease potential equal to. Okay. Now during our journey, if we move from negative to positive of the cell, then there will be increase in potential equal to EMF of cell. Okay, and we move from positive to negative of a cell, then there will be decrease in the potential equal to EMF. See, these are the four sign convention, very useful for writing any equation. Okay, by using this, we can analyze the given circuit. Let us say okay, let us say this is a part of the given electric circuit. See, the loop is A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E, A. Okay. Now, see, we have to write equation for this given circuit. Now, by using the convention which we have discussed, see, we have to write the equation. Let us say first is from A to B. Now, during that we move okay. These are the let us say this is the circuit given. See, we move from A to B. During that we move in the direction of the current, so there will be decrease in the potential, minus I1 R1. Also we move from the negative to positive of the battery, so increase in the potential. Now from B to C, okay, we move in opposite direction of the current, so that will be increase in the potential. And also we move from the positive to negative of the battery, so that's why there is a decrease in the potential equal to EMF of the cell. Now when we move from C to D, okay, we move from C to D. During that we move in the opposite direction of the current, so that will be plus I3 R3. Now when we move from D to E, we move in the direction of the current, so there will be decrease in the potential equal to IR, that is I4 R4. Now we move from E to A. During that we move in opposite direction of the current, so in that case there will be increase in the potential equal to IR. Let us say again, see, A to B in the direction of the current, minus I1 R1, minus to plus of the battery, plus E1. See, we move from B to C. During that we move in the opposite direction of the current, so in that case we will be plus IR, that is I2 R2, and we move from plus to minus of the battery, decrease in the potential. Now C to D, we move in the opposite direction, so there will be increase in the potential equal to IR. Now next, D to E, we move in the direction of the current during our journey, let us say like this, so in that case there will be decrease in the potential. And finally E to A, we move in opposite direction of the current, that will be plus I5R. Now see, as we discussed, the Kirchhoff second law based on the uniqueness or a single valuedness of the electric potential. So we write the equation now. Let's say VA starting from A, see, A to B, that will be minus I1 R1, also plus E1, then B to C, plus I2 R2, C to D, plus I3 R3, D to E, minus I4 R4, plus I5 R. Now see, the single valuedness says that whatever the potential was at A, that is VA, when we come back, the potential remains same. Okay, that is equal to VA. So this is cancelled. Okay, so we can write minus I1 R1 plus I2 R2 plus I3 R3 minus I4 R4 plus I5 R5 equal to, now okay, here minus E2 is remaining, okay, equal to, this will move to the right hand side, become positive, this will become negative. So in that case our sigma IR is equal to sigma E. Okay, that is sigma IR, that is a product of the current, resistance and corresponding current, and sigma is summation, is equal to sigma E, that is a total EMF supplied in the circuit. So this is about the Kirchhoff's second law. Okay, again see the convention, when we move in the direction of the current, there is a decrease in the potential. Okay, when we move in opposite direction of the current, there will be increase in the potential equal to IR. Okay, third, when we move from negative to positive of the battery or a cell, increase in the potential. When we move from positive to negative of the battery, there will be decrease in the potential equal to EMF of the cell. So these are the 4 important conditions by using which we can analyze the circuit. So this is about the Kirchhoff's second law. Now we take a simple example and try to solve it. Okay, now let us say given electric circuit is like this, and we have to analyze this. See, we have to find out the total current in the cell. Now, what we see here, there are more than one cell. Okay. Now, whenever there are more than one cell or a battery, see the current will start from the battery with the largest EMF. See what we see here, there are two cells or two battery, 6 volt and 3 volt. See the largest EMF is 6 volt, so the current will start from positive of the largest cell. Now, see the current will be I up to here. Now A is the junction, okay, or a branch point. We say there are two part I1 and I2. See in AC current will be I1 and this AEDC part current will be I2. We see C is the junction where this I1 and I2 will meet. So from C current will be I. So the first, see what we can say at point A or point C, I is equal to I1 plus I2. Okay, I is equal to I1 plus I2. Now we have to find out the total current. Okay, I. Now we use Kirchhoff's second law. First we use loop A, B, C. Okay, C, E, F. A, B, C, F, A. Okay. Now we use Kirchhoff's second law starting from A. See, when we move in the direction of from A to B, we move in the opposite direction, that is plus IR by using the convention 3 into I. Now plus to minus of the battery, that will be minus 6. Okay. See, we have reached up to here. Now see BC here, current is there. It is a simple conductor, no resistor. Okay, so no potential drop. Now see, we move from C to F. Okay, that is in the opposite direction of the current, so that will be plus 9 I1. Okay, when we move in the opposite direction of the current, there will be increase in the potential. See, up to here F and F to A, we come back to the same point, that is B. So how is our equation pan out? 3I plus 9I1 is equal to 6. Okay, now I is equal to I1 plus I2, that we have to use. That is 3I1 plus I2 plus 9 is 6. Okay, that is 3I1 plus 3I2 plus 9I1 is 6. Now 3 plus 9 is 12I1. Now what we see here, all are multiple of 3, so we can divide by 3. So it will be 4I1 plus I2 is 2. See, that is the first equation. Okay. Again, see, we move on the path A, B, C, F, A. See, A2 potential at A is VA. Here in opposite direction of the current, that will be plus 3I. Plus to minus of the battery, that will be minus 6. In CF, opposite direction of the current, 9 and 1. Come back to the same point, that is VA. Now, this will be 3I plus 9I1. This minus 6 will move on the right hand side. Now I is equal to I1 plus I2 we are having, that is at a junction. Okay, so 3I1 plus 3I2 plus 9I1 is 6. So we can say 3 plus 9 is 12I1 plus 3I2 is 6. All are multiple of 3, so we divide by 3. So 4I1 plus I2 is 2. Okay. Now see the simple mathematical or algebraic equation. We know whatever number of unknowns, we should have similar number of equations. So here we have to find out I1 and I2, so we should have two equations. First equation we have obtained. Now we take the second equation, that is loop F, C, D, E, F. Okay, now we write equation for the loop F, C, D, E, F. So we can write VF starting from F. FC direction, we are moving in the direction of the current, minus 9I1. Okay. Now from C to D, we move from D to E. So that is in opposite direction of the current. So what is the current in this branch? That is I2 here. Okay. So it will be, we move in the opposite direction of the current. We move from D to E, current is in ED direction, so it will be plus 6I2. Okay. Now we move from plus to minus of the battery. Minus 3 is equal to VF. Okay. So now the equation minus 9I1 plus 6I2 is 3. Again, they are multiple of 3. So we can get minus 3I1 plus 2I2 is 0. Okay, let us see again. See FC, we are moving in the direction of the current, that will be minus 9I1. D2E, we are moving in the opposite direction of the current, that will be plus 6I2 plus 2 minus of the battery, minus 3 is equal to VF. Okay, now VF will get cancelled. Minus 9I1 plus 6I2 is 3. Okay, so we can again divide by 3, so we'll get minus 3I1 plus 2I2 is 1. So we know, as I talked, we should have two equations that we have obtained. Now what we have to find out, I1 and I2. So we can simplify. Okay, 4I1 minus 3I1. Now multiply by 3 and by 4. 12I1 plus 3I2 is 6. Minus 12I1 plus 8I2 is 4. 10. So I2 is 10 by 8. Okay. Now you have got value of I2. We can substitute in any one equation. So this is 4I1 plus I2 is 2. Okay, so 4I1. I2 value we have obtained is 10. This is 22 by minus 10 by. Okay. Now see, I2 is 10 by 11, I1 is. Now suppose we are being asked total current in the circuit, then I is equal to I1 plus I2. Okay, I is equal to I1 plus I2, that is 3 by 11 plus. Okay, so this is how we can analyze any circuit by using Kirchhoff's first and second law. So this is how we have used in the circuit to find out the current. Now I am giving you some sums for practice that you can solve at that you can try yourself. Later on we'll have solution also. Okay, this is one circuit. You can try it yourself. Okay, now this is another circuit which I am giving you as a practice. You can try yourself and later on we will discuss the answer. Now this is about the Kirchhoff's second law. Now see, next we have to see about Wheaton bridge. Okay, next we have to see about the Wheaton bridge. Now Wheaton bridge is a very simple electrical circuit. See, you will have a experiment for Wheatstone bridge in the laboratory also. There you will have a practical view. Now it is used to find out the value of the unknown resistor. See, there are 4 resistors and a galvanometer. Now so our next topic is Wheatstone bridge. It is a special type of network. See, the battery is connected between B and C. See, the resistors are now see, G is the galvanometer. Okay. Now later on we'll see its uses also. But first the condition. See, whenever the Wheatstone bridge is in the balanced condition, see, the current through the galvanometer is 0. See, the galvanometer is a current sensitive device. It is used to detect the current in the circuit. Now we have to derive the condition that in balance the condition of Wheatstone bridge, current through galvanometer now see a battery of V volt is connected like this. Now we derive this condition first. Now let us say the total current is I. As we discussed, there are 2 current will flow in these 2 branch. This is, let us say, A, B, C, D and A. So current in AD and AB is I1 and I2. As we have seen, we want to see in this balanced condition, current through galvanometer is 0. See, there will be no path in DB direction. Same current I1 will flow here. Here also I2, that will be in ABC direction. C again is a junction where I1 and I2 will meet, will form the total current I1. Okay, so this is how the circuit is devised. Now first we use loop ABDA. Okay, first we use loop ABDA. So we start from a VA in direction of the current negative minus I2 R2. See, here there is no current. It is just a connecting conductor. Now in DA we are moving in the opposite direction of the current, I1 R1 DA. So I1 R1 minus I2 R2 is 0. I1 upon I2 is R2 upon R2. Let us say this is equation number 1. Now see, in BCDB loop, okay, now we use Kirchhoff's second law, that is VB minus I2 R4. See, that is current direction, we have to take negative. Now in CD we are moving in the opposite direction of the current, so that will be plus I1 R3. See, we reach to the point B again, that is B. Okay, so what we write here, I1 R3 minus I2 R4 is 0. I1 R3 is I2 R4. So I1 upon I2 is, okay. Now see, the left hand side of both of this equation is same, so we can compare. Okay, that is R2 upon R1 is R4 upon R3. Okay, now left hand side is same, so we have compared equation. So we take a reciprocal, R1 upon R2 is Okay, this is the condition for balance of the Wheatstone bridge. Okay, now what is the use of the Wheatstone bridge? See, the practical part you will study in the laboratory also. See, it is used find value of unknown see out of this 4 resistance given, okay. Now let us say out of these 4 value 3 is given and 4th is not given. So we can vary the current in the circuit in such a way the galvanometer shows 0 deflection. In that case, we see the bridge will be in balance condition, and by using this equation, we can find the value of the unknown resistance. So this is about the Wheatstone bridge. Now next we have to see about the meter bridge. See, the meter bridge is a practical application. See, you will have a experiment in the laboratory also. Okay, so the meter bridge, as the name suggests, okay, see, there are 2 arms in this circuit. One is here resistor R is connected, S. Now this is a wire of length 100 centimeter. See, here we arrange a meter scale that shows from 0 to 100. That's why only the name is meter bridge. Okay, now the device is connected with a battery and a key like this. Okay, now see, as we have seen in the Wheatstone bridge, there are 4 resistors. See, this R and S are 2 resistors. Now here is a galvanometer connected with a jockey key. So here is a pen like device or a slider which can move freely on this wire. Let us say wire is AC. Okay. Now as I talked, see, there are in Wheatstone bridge there are 4 resistors. R and S are 2 resistors. Now see, the current flows in the circuit like this. When we move this jockey key on this wire AC for some particular length, let us say L1, galvanometer shows 0 deflection. So this AD part will show L1. Let us say AD is L1. Okay. CD or DC part is 100 minus. Okay. Now 4 resistors are there. We have seen in the balance condition of the Wheatstone bridge, R1 upon R2, this is R upon S, should be equal to AD upon DC. That is R upon S is L1. Okay. Now on the scale you can read this value. Okay. Why? Because this AC wire is 100 centimeter and the scale also is also 100 centimeter. So this, by using this L1. Now if you know the resistance per unit length, so this has become resistance only, but this will get cancelled. So we get the equation R upon S is L1 upon. Okay, that is the equation of the meter. So what we have seen today, see, we saw Kirchhoff's first and second law. First law is based on the law of conservation of charge. Second law, that is loop law, is based on single valuedness of the electric potential at a circuit and law of conservation of energy. We saw example for this, how it is useful to analyze any electrical circuit. Then we saw about the Wheatstone bridge and meter bridge. There is an application of, there is a practical application of Wheatstone bridge. Okay.